Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to Al Bashim Yahshai, Mr. Kakadash, step onto the process of GMS and Ruel. Shalom to the faithful men as well as continue doing the work of the Lord. Alright, so now, Lord willing, I want to make this video, going into these spies and, agents and things like that, alright? Now, I was watching these two videos. This one right here, what's his name? John Kuroku, whatever the hell the nigga's last name is. CIA spy recounts insane covert operations, assassinations attempts, part 1. It was pretty decent. I watched this whole thing, and then also this is too. I watched this one too. Don't get seduced by a woman. Honey pots and honey traps explained. I think that's what they call for like sexual spies. Alright. In which one's right here. Hold up. The Sean Ryan show, which I spoke about that a few times. This is Leia Rosa, Russian sex spy on seduction, perfumes, and so on and so forth. Honeypot, all that. Yeah, so I think a honeypot. Yeah, I already said that. So like I forgot I mentioned that. Yeah, the honeypot is like, you think it's just a prostitute spy pretty much. But yeah, man. And also too, I already mentioned it a few times that shows, they put it on Netflix and it's on Hulu. You know what I'm saying? So I believe if you got like a Disney Plus account, Hulu and Disney Plus, you can get both all in one. You know what I'm saying? I know I do. So if you got, if you got Disney, you should be able to have Hulu as well. But yeah, cause I believe they bought them niggas. But yeah, man. It's called Homeland, and this shows you on that too. A lot of the spy shit or CIA things that they're mentioning, that these people, that these actual ex-spies and ex-CIA niggas, you know what I'm saying? Or they also call a CIA agent, they call them spooks, you know what I'm saying? Because really, technically, CIA is not technically a spy. Like a CIA will go to a different country. I mean, technically they are, but they will go to a different country and they recruit people. And then the people that they recruit, you know what I'm saying? Like say if they go to Afghanistan and they trying to get some terrorist group or something like that, and they're trying to get some information or whatever, then they will recruit a person that's from there, or whoever that's close to the target that they're trying to get to, and then they would recruit them either by threatening them or blackmailing them or offering them riches, and it's crazy too, because it shows you in that show, like the girl, she was like in Pakistan, and she had sex with the dude and everything, and she was just playing the nigga, you know what I'm saying? And this is his first piece of box he ever had, and it's crazy too. He had a girl that was faithful to him, like a little girlfriend that he didn't get the deal yet. Little pretty little Pakistani thing, but he chose a damn ugly white bitch. But anyways, she was being all seductive and all nice to him, and she give him sex, you know what I'm saying? And then also she offered like, well, what you want? Like, I'll give you whatever you want. Gave him some money, and then be like, where you want to go? You give you a passport, and also you can go to any school you want to. You want to go to Harvard? You want to go here? You want to go there? All right, bet. So, and that's the same thing this nigga said. This John nigga, the ex-CIA, I think he was a caseworker. There's different. There's caseworkers and there's, I think, field agent, whatever, and all that other bullshit. But yeah. So. And that shit true. He said you can really do that shit. He said we can put you in the best schools. So it's just like, it probably a lot of foreign niggas that's in Harvard and shit that doesn't deserve to even be in fucking Harvard. You see how wicked this damn world is? But anyways, it's just nothing but bribery. You know what I'm saying? I made a video about that last night. I didn't upload it yet. But anyways, the main point, you know, I want to speak on is just these spies, man. That's why we got to be careful. Because this dude right here, John, he said like he would go and he would recruit people. And sometimes it takes months. Like, they take their time. Sometimes it takes 6 months, a year. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And they'll be extra friendly to you. You know what I'm saying? They will ask you out. They will ask you, you know, you want to go, you know, you want to go out to eat. You know, they would be best friends with you. They said I would not make the move unless I'm that person's best friend. You know what I'm saying? You get them real comfortable. You just a snake. You're just deceiving them. You're just being the devil. You know what I'm saying? Alright, but you got a righteous way of doing that, because we have spies too in Israel. You know, Joshua and Caleb was the righteous spies. But like, which me personally, I believe I will be great at this job. You know what I'm saying? Just being a spy, like being a CIA agent, because you can break into people's homes and steal information. I could be great with that, because I love to sneak. I love to sneak up on people and shit. You know what I mean? Then you can go to different places. You can just, like James Bond type shit. You can act like a whole different person. It's a whole different name. I could easily do that. You know what I'm saying? I would love that job, but I would never do no CIA shit, because that shit, them niggas are wicked, man. You already know the history of CIA niggas, man. Them niggas are wicked. They get down and dirty, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, but yeah, he would say he would do that. He gave different examples, different stories, how he met certain people, and he offered money to certain people. They took it. He threatened certain people. He had one story. He went into this dude's home. He knew who he was, and then he went in there. It was an Arab dude, and Arab people, they don't reject. No, he was acting like he was a college student, and then he took a book bag, and filled it up with all heavy ass shit, like books and all that. And he broke the dude's, because he knew where the dude lived, so he broke the dude's window mirror. He broke that shit, and then he, you know, he played it off. He went to his neighbors. Oh, is this your car? And then the neighbor's like, no, it's the next door neighbor. And then he went up to him. He spoke Greek, and then he started speaking English. You know what I mean? He was just playing stupid. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I broke your window. I paid for it, though, you know. But they were saying they give the CIA agents pretty much unlimited money. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll pay for it, whatever, woo. And then he said, because Arabs don't reject. Like, if you ask for hospitality, they gonna have to give it to you. That's their culture. And he was like, you know, can I get some water? And the dude got an attitude. He said, yeah, stay here. And then he opened the door and let himself in, and started talking to his daughter, like, hey, well, what's your name? And that's the thing too, these CIA agents, they know different languages and shit. They asked him, what's your name, how old you are? And then he came in and he already knew what was up, like, all right, what you want? And then he threatened him, like, hey, we about to kill your partner. If you don't want to die too, nigga, hey, call us tomorrow at 10, shit like that. So, link it with the scriptures, man. You best believe Edom penetrates or infiltrates, a lot again, pause. He infiltrates these different, what's it called? Beliefs. I can't think of the damn word. I don't want to say communities, but for lack of better words, like different groups and sects. That's what word I'm looking for. He gonna infiltrate the Black Panther Party, because the Black Panther, they was doing, I believe they was doing some good shit at first, and then they started tripping, and, you know, or I might be thinking about the gangs. Like, I believe like the GDs and shit like that, they was originally, or it might have been just gangs, Bloods and Crips. They was originally was formed so they could protect each other from the so-called white man. They was protecting the community and things like that, and then they got infiltrated. And then now, of course, we already know that the CIA gave Jake drugs, and he made Drake to go sell drugs and shit like that. You got your boy Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. All right, not that fucking that fat nigga, cause that nigga that's another thing too. Okay, because a lot of these rappers they informants, not this fat nigga, man. This nigga's an informant, bro. This nigga was a correctional officer, and now you playing as if you were a thug. Okay. A lot of these different rappers and shit, they agents too, man. Alright? They're spies that have took the bag and, hey, look, this is what I need you to do. Make a rap song about this. Act like you're a thug. I'm gonna give you, who knows, bro? Esau's a fucking, this nigga's a, bro. Hey, I'm gonna give you a group of niggas. Act like these niggas has been your niggas from day one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you all this money, record deal. You know, just keep pushing out degenerate music. You know. But this is the real Rick Ross nigga right here. Alright? This is the real Rick Ross right here. See, got that CIA right there. You know, I still, see, CIA drug conspiracy. I want to watch this. I might watch this tomorrow. I've been meaning to do it. But yeah, man. Let me get the scripture. In fact, let me get this too. Luke 20:20. Let me start at 19. It says, and the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken a parable against them. Alright, speaking about Yahushua. So they wanted to kill Yahushua. Alright? And we know, right? Remember what Yahushua said? He said the servant is not greater than his master. So if these evil ass niggas, alright, as sent spies on our Lord, then how much more us? Of course, you're gonna have the government, and you might even have certain Israelite groups that might send a fucking spy over here. Send a spy over to see what they, bro, you never fucking know, bro. This shit is not far-fetched. Alright? What's the saying? Truth is stranger than fiction, bro. Art imitates life. We look at movies and we look at this shit, bro, but that shit impossible. That's not what happens to us. There's no spies. Man, this shit is real, bro. Best fucking believe there is a spy, there's an informant in every single sect there is. Muslims, Christians, every single camp of Israelite, even in GMS. Now, GMS has the 100% truth, but hey, there's still people here, bro. Who knows? Who knows who it is? But the times that we are living in is about to be wild, bro. Imagine if we find out who it is. Because, hey, that day will come, because what's in the dark will be revealed. I noticed that, bro. I know that. Truth always get revealed. Even if it's fucking 30 years later, truth will always be revealed. It will not be hidden for long. Alright? It will not be hidden for forever. It says, and they watched them and sent for a spot. So they was watching them, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what the CIA niggas was going into too. You know what I'm saying? That's why they if you're a CIA and you in a different country, you gotta go through different routes and shit like that. Sometimes you might go to work. You don't wake up at he said you don't wake up at the same time. You know me, I don't give a fuck. I'm not about to be extra paranoid. I don't give a fuck. I got nothing to hide. Yahushua didn't have nothing to hide. We don't have nothing to hide. I don't hurt nobody. I don't harm nobody. I don't do no illegal activity. I kind of do, but it's nothing off. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not nothing off. against the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know the doctrine. We loud to get harvest. I'm just saying. We got nothing to fucking hide, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't go around selling drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't do no bullshit. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What we teach in private is what we teach in public. But you got people watching the Yahushua and the disciples and different things like that, watching their house. All right, okay, reporting back, and okay, they left the house around 6 a.m. They went to their little food spot. They went to the restaurant. They always hang out over here. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this shit is real. And that's what the dude was saying. Like, the CIA dude, he was like, well, one of my jobs, I have to go in because sometimes if you try to recruit somebody and it doesn't work, then what you do is that they break into their home and just find any evidence that they're looking for. So they had this information on this one lady, and they watched her every morning. She always leave the house at this time. She go to this coffee shop for an hour or two. So you had people following her to the coffee shop and then giving information to this dude like, okay, we let you know if just in case, normally she was there for an hour or two, but just in case she, all of a sudden just like, all right, let me go back home, re-inform you before, just in case. So this nigga in this bitch house trying to steal information. You don't think that might, bro? They got the pick lock. They can just pick your lock and then put everything back in place and then act like nothing happened. They can go to surveillance camera and shit and then stop it, put it back on point, and you wouldn't even know that they were fucking there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense, bro. Imagine if you had control of the whole fucking government. And not only that, but multiple government, because Esau controlled pretty much the whole world. He just got certain countries that he don't have control over. But imagine if you did that. You could be able to do whatever the fuck you want. And imagine if you're wicked. Come on, bro. You gonna throw the stone and you gonna hide your fucking hand, bro. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be completely blacked out. And nobody will fucking know. Alright? And if you get caught, well, they just think you're just a regular ass college student or a regular ass homeless nigga or old ass nigga. That's why we gotta be circumspect, bro. We gotta be careful. That's the main point I want to make, bro. We gotta be careful of what we do, what we say to people, who we around, because you don't fucking know, bro. And these agents, these niggas, they take time. They take their time. They don't just go up to you, hey, man, hey, let me offer you $1 million, and they gonna take their fucking time. They going to gather information about you. Okay, well, we see, oh, he got a child. Okay, cool. I can use the child for leverage. I can see, okay. If I really need to really do it, I can threaten the child, or I see he got an addiction. Okay, I see he's very greedy. Which they said that's the best thing for them is greed. Okay, I see he's a little greedy, so I'm okay, cool. I'm about to bribe this nigga. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna watch you, bro, and they're gonna see. Okay, oh, all right. What'd you say? Oh, you said what? Okay, and they recording this shit. They're gonna probably come in your house and leave a device in there that's recording and tracking everything you're doing. Oh, now I got evidence. Oh, he said this. Now I got evidence. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important to stay on point, bro. And make sure that nothing or no one can blame the ministry. No one can say anything bad about us. And if they do, it gotta be false. Just like they did to our Lord Yahushua. They was watching the Lord, bro. They was watching him, following him, sending spies. They couldn't find nothing. So what they do, they started bringing up false witnesses. You think Esau's not gonna do the same thing, bro? Of course he is. He gonna start bringing up a false victim and shit. Oh my God, when I was When I was 10 years old, he graded me. Bro, this shit is going to come, bro. And we gonna have to endure this. Cause then he might be like, well, hey, look, I got some information on you. I know it's not true, but they not gonna know. If I bring this out, I got this AI, hey, it's gonna look real to them. So, hey, either you gonna comply or I'm gonna release this information. And hey, man, Yahushua went through it. He got spat on and they was saying all evil shit against him that wasn't true. This man was completely innocent, man. Literally. Without fault, without sin at all. And he still was lied on. And that's our master. What do you think is going to happen to us? Okay? They're going to call us terrorists. They're going to call us grapists. And I bet you that one of the first niggas that's going to be the main one is going to be another Israelite group pointing the finger. Yeah, they grape. They say, see this the video. They say they going to do it. Which we never did. We ain't going to do that shit here. Anyways, verse 20. And they watched them and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men. Right, see? So they faking. They acting like they righteous men trying to learn, and they faking the whole fucking time. Faking, man. And they feared the people, and they perceived that he had spoken this parable. Oh, I read that, so like it. That they might take hold of his words, so that they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. You see? So, hey, and real quick, just speaking on this camp, I mean, who knows? I remember when the situation came out that the ex-head, because he been left like a year before that video when the Apostle Tahar uploaded it, because I think some other dude, he started talking about him, about the situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the dude was. I don't think he was an Israelite dude, but he was just bringing out information. And what the fuck was I about to say? But I remember that day that the Apostle Tahar uploaded that video. I visited Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? The second time. This time, I was with no brothers. The first time I was, but this time, you know what I'm saying? I was visiting. And then, that was a very spiritual trip. You know what I'm saying? A few spiritual things happened. You know what I'm saying, down there. But anyways, but I remember the elder, I forgot his name, man. Light-skinned elder brother. I remember we was at camp and then we split off and I went to go teach with the other brothers and younger brothers. And then we came back, I believe, and then it was the elder brother. He was like on the side talking to brothers. So he was already talking, but he kind of like, you know, we shalom each other. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, you know, he briefly told me, he was like, man, you know, hey man, what if the ex-head was a spy? And I'm like, I never thought about that at that time. I'm thinking like, well, it makes sense. Because he was like, because the situation with Vocab Malone, because Vocab, he from Columbus. Now, of course, I'm not trying to bear false witness. I'm not saying this is true 100%. But we know Vocab Malone is from Columbus, Ohio. Specifically from south side of Columbus, Ohio. And the ex-head, he was from the south side. Because I remember when I first came in, I moved a lot as a kid. You know what I mean? As soon as the lease is up, we got to move. And I remember I first heard the truth when I was on the north side of Columbus, close to the camp where we camped at. But then eventually, after a couple months, I'm probably a couple months in, maybe a year, maybe, I don't know. But I know I was very fresh. Then I moved to the south side. And then that's when he started, because I remember I used to walk to camp and then I used to get dropped off by another brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of not that close, but I used to love walking anyway. And then he was like, then when I moved to the south side and I told him, he's like, oh, okay. Well, I'll pick you up because I'm from the south side. My aunt lived on the same exact street that I lived on. And he was like, yeah, I'll pick you up. And then, so yeah. And then he used to pick me up. And then me and him kind of got close from that point on. Because he always gave me a ride up and back. You know what I'm saying? But, and on top of that, Vocab Malone heard about the Hebrew Israelite thing through them. Because them, it wasn't just him. But it was him and the ex-members of this original Columbus. You know what I'm saying? They you know them early years where Jake used to go to the churches and try to teach the people in the church. I did that one time by myself too. That's a waste of fucking time. But I actually did it twice. Which is actually kind of fun, but we ain't got time for that bullshit no more. But they was a little bit more aggressive with it. And that's when Vocab heard about it. So who knows? Maybe he was a spy. Because I mean there is connections. Like they both from Southside Columbus. He heard the Hebrew Israelite thing from him. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, I remember the first it was the second time Vocab came to the camp. He was like, I remember because this is when Spider-Man came out. This is when the newer one. What's that little weird white boy that be fucking Zendaya? Tom Holland. Alright. That's when his version of Spider-Man came out. I think it was the first one. So this is, years ago. And I remember after camp, he was like, oh, y'all wanna come? Y'all wanna come watch Spider-Man with my family? And then we was like, oh, hell nah. But now I'm really fucking thinking about it. This is what agents do. They will invite you out. Oh, let's go out. Let's go. And then they also too would bring their wives into it, and they let your wife and his wife get together, and they're not their friends. This is what they do, and then they get familiar with you. So I mean, who knows? Like I said, I'm not saying that's true, but we do gotta be circumspect, and hey, it will make sense, because if you add all those dots together, it's like something a little fishy. You know what I'm saying? Something a little fishy. Alright? Who knows? But you see, this, hey. And that nigga, the ex-head, he said he was faking it for a few years. So, hey, who knows? Whether he's a spy, yeah, he's a spy for fucking Satan. He's a damn, all of them demons, alright? But this is coming, bro. This is coming, bro. You never know, bro. That's why it's very important to be careful, man. It's very important to be careful. Galatians 2:4. Hold on. Let me I might want to look at that word up too. Galatians 2:4, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who come in privily to spy out our liberty which we have in Mashiach Yahushua, that they might bring us into bondage. Alright, spy. Look that word up. In the Greek is to inspect, view closely, in order to spy out and plot against. Alright. Insidiously acting in a stealthy, subtle, or treacherous manner, often with harmful, unseen, or gradual effects. Right. Okay. This shit real, bro. This shit coming, bro. So that's why we gotta stay on point. Alright. to whom we gave place by subjection, no, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you. But of these whom seem to be somewhat, whosoever they were, it maketh no matter to me. God accept them in no man's person, for they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me. That's the point in there. But yeah, man. So yeah, man. So just be careful, bro. You know, you got to be careful more than ever, bro. Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. That's why Scripture says, "Prove a friend if you will get him." You know, don't be easily to credit someone. You know, that's why you don't just throw a fucking garment at people, man. All right, you take them through the ringer. You take them through different. You know what I'm saying? You don't just, all right, you believe? Oh, you say you believe? All right, here you go. No, you don't know who the fuck that man is, man. Even if he might not be a spy, that nigga might not be right. All right. All right. Tobit 4:14. Let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. All right? In all the things that we do, be circumspect, bro. The women that you deal with, because I showed that video, that female, because, hey, that's what they would say. Like these higher up government officials, they would send a very beautiful young lady, and then she would say, well, she will either ask you before sex or after sex, freshly after sex, and just give you a little massage, talk to you sweet, be a comfort to you. Oh, so how was work? Oh, it was good. Oh, who would you work with? Oh, what about that guy? What did he do? You know, asking information, and now she getting all information on you, and niggas just pillow talking, man, giving this bitch all the damn information. You drunk, you in your drink. That's why you gotta be careful, bro. The scriptures, man, the scriptures are fucking supreme, bro. I love the scriptures because they give you the breakdown to everything, bro. It give you game, bro, in all aspects of life. To be careful. Micah 7:5. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Right? Don't trust these niggas, man, because there might be somebody looking for information out of you, being all extra friendly and shit. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Who is that? That's your woman, bro. Keep your doors, get your mouth shut. Like the Apostle Tahar, bro, you don't gotta tell your woman that, or you don't gotta tell her that you're an Israelite, and you don't gotta tell her that she's an Israelite. Just fucking deal with them, bro. You know? Have a kingly rulership type mindset, bro. In the ancient world, we didn't fucking, you know what I'm saying? We didn't do that shit, man. We didn't fucking, like, this is not the movies. This is not, like today, when you watching Hollywood, the king, he sits down and he talking to his bitch, his wife. Yeah, you know, damn, what should we do? Fuck. I talked to the ambassador of such and such, and they said, man, I'm not telling my bitch that. I remember I was watching the show called Tudors. My mom used to love that show. I think it was like King Edward. It's that famous nigga that killed like a lot of his wives and shit. And it was a scene. He was like on his third wife or whatever the fuck. And then she was like and she was a little young, pretty thing. You know what I mean? He really liked her. He got rid of his old wife just to get with this bitch. But he was like at the table and they was eating, and then she got in his business, like, I forgot, it was something concerning the kingdom, like kingdom affairs. And then she was like, oh, maybe you should do this or whatever. And then he stopped and like, hey man, stay in your place. Like, you know what I'm saying? That does not concern you. Stay in your fucking place. You know what I'm saying? The fuck you gonna be telling your woman information? You know what I mean? That shit off, bro. You in the camp and you go home to your woman, yeah, man. Yeah, the bro, man, he man, that nigga, man, hey man, I'm getting tired, man. If it's a situation where like I gotta go, I gotta go handle some business, my bro, and I said, what happened? I'm not, if it's something personal, I'm not about to discuss that. Like, I'm not about to put no brother's business out there, whatever a brother's going through. I'm not doing that shit. I don't give a fuck who it is. That brotherhood business stays in the brotherhood. Keep your private business private. All right? Matter of fact, there's a scripture on that too. Can't get this one in a minute. Sirach 9:1. Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. Don't teach your woman an evil lesson against yourself. And not just because of course we're being careful of these spies, but also just your woman, period. Because you can pillow talk to your woman and tell her something that she might look at you and be like, what? Oh, you're weak. You're. You know what I'm saying? And it probably ain't even that damn deep, but she would look at you like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then she might not say nothing now, but then 2 months later, she might bring this shit up. She might look at you like you're a damn pussy, like you're weak. You know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta be careful, bro. All right. 4, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, at least thou be taken with her attempts. All right, gaze not on a maid that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Right. So some random ass pretty ass lady come to you, man. Hey man, be careful, bro. You don't know who the fuck that bitch is, man. Don't stick your dick in any bitch, man. And even if you do, I mean shit, fuck her. I mean shit, fuck that bitch. But don't tell her no information. You know what I'm saying? And if a bitch come up to you and it's too good to be true, don't do it. Cause you might go and then you might go in the house, you might get robbed, or a nigga might put a fucking bag over your head. Now you go missing. You know what I'm saying? Verse 8, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many has been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Yeah, you've been deceived by the beauty of a woman. She's so beautiful. So then all your wits just goes out the window. You don't even give a fuck no more. No, man. All right? So yeah, man, that's the point, man. I'm going to end it off on this. Sirach 13. And 13. Observe and take good heed. That's what we gotta do, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna be extra out, and cause like I said, I fuck Esau anyway. I already know that nigga listening to me. I already know he's tapping my phones. I don't give a fuck. I'm not about to go extra and try to hide. Like, there's no point. Esau can see all that shit. Even if you delete something, that nigga can hook it up to a machine and pull all your information. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? And if you in this truth, you ain't supposed to be doing no bullshit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever, bro. Do what you gotta do. But, still be watchful. You know what I mean? Make sure a fucking car ain't following you. You know what I'm saying? I remember last week, a lot of weird shit was happening. You know what I'm saying? Now, it could have been a coincidence. It could have been a petty thief and shit. But, you know what I'm saying? I was at my lady's house and somebody trying to open the door. Like, I remember it was late as fuck. I was the only one up. And somebody trying to open the door. And the next day we found out that the Ring camera was gone. And then I think that maybe that next day or that whatever, it was like in a matter of days. It wasn't far apart. I remember I was going to the store, I was leaving, this weird dude, he was like, he had his hand behind his back and the other hand like kind of like in his front. I'm just staring at him like, the fuck? And then I went in there, I was like walking out the door, he kind of like, you can see he's a little slow or whatever. He was asking me, "Are you a college student?" I was like, "Nah, like I'm not even nowhere near a fucking college." And he was just like, "Oh, okay. Are you 27?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm like, "How the fuck you know I'm 27?" Like, that's the first guess. You know I'm 27. How you know that? You know? And that's another thing too. That's how the dude said too. The CIA dude. He was like, I'll go to like a thing where we know all the Al-Qaeda niggas will meet at a coffee spot, and I'll just sit there. I'll mind my business. I'll sit there every day reading the newspaper. And then one day, one dude nod his head, and then eventually we just keep talking. And then he asked him like, "What's your name?" And then he gave him the name. Then he went back, gave the information, looked it up, found the dude's name. So you don't fucking know, bro. It could be a random nigga. "Hey, what's your name, brother?" "Hey, oh, okay." Put your name in the thing, and there you go. You know? It says, "Observe and take good heed." So be circumspect, because I believe if you look at the word circumspect, it means to look around. You know, like a circle. Like you gotta look all the way around. You know what I'm saying? It says, "For thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing, when thou hearest these things awaken thy sleep." Man, we don't fucking know. We got FBI agents, because FBI is more domestic. Because we in America, so we probably be dealing with the FBI motherfuckers rather than the CIA. You know what I'm saying? Well, them too, because they supposed to not be, whatever. I think they work both too, but the CIA is more like foreign. The FBI is more domestic. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. You know, you just gotta be careful, bro. Because they Esau, the government, all right, they trying to overthrow us, the elites, secret society, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the so-called who's, to be exact. Okay, Esau, Edom, Amalek, we don't give a fuck. We gonna say your punk ass name. All right. And also, we gotta be careful of these demons attacks. You could be thinking, you can't see it. You think it's a regular day. I'm about to go home. Oh, la. Demon attack you in your sleep or some shit, man. Jump on your woman, jump on your child, jump on you, jump on a brother. We just gotta stay on point with everything that we do, everything that we say. And we gotta be careful of our conversation. Not just conversation that don't just go into words. Conversation is lifestyle. That's what the Greek word actually goes into, is your lifestyle. Alright? Anyways, man, that's pretty much the point. Lil Will, and hopefully that was edifying. Just stay circumspect, stay on point, and may the Lord protect us. Alright? So with that, hopefully that's edifying. Glory, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shah, Bishop Dash, the boss of the pastor GMS Ruel, shown to the president Royx, that must say Shalom.